Okay, so I started recording the meeting today so that we can have some information for people who may be missing out. I know some mornings it's hard to throw those covers off. And I completely understand because that's me sometimes. But I wanted to record the meeting because I wanted the people who are new to introduce themselves, so everyone knows who they are. But if you miss the meeting, then you know what we're doing, okay? So even if you're not here, you're kind of here in, I guess, the stratosphere of the internet, because you're gonna be watching after. You're gonna be watching in the past. So you're in a different dimension right now. Did I just go weird on y'all? Anyway, okay, so I'm excited because Chris is a rock star and he's bringing friends. And so Chris, introduce your friend to us.
This is Simone. She's helping the Portland Chamber of Commerce start a great new program called Healthy Portland. We're trying to get people educated about health, nutrition, all kinds of wellness stuff. She's doing a great job leading us through that.
I love that. Healthy Portland. So is this like a business you have, Simone, or is this just for fun?
Well, I am a health and wellness coach, have not really promoted it, but when the chamber talked about this, I was obviously all on board, and I'm super excited to lead the committee into educating everybody around it. And I hope that eventually it might just turn into a business, because that's what I'm more passionate about than the engineering that Christopher mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Which that's my job, is engineering. But
yeah, I always find that people who are engineers, there's like this left brain and right brain competition going on. Like, I like the systems, but I like the fun. So yeah, so you're kind of in the middle, right?
Yeah, I'm the very one of very few in the middle.
Okay, and we just got our brand new person to just come in right now. Hey, hey, Carlotta. You're beautiful. You're mute. Let me unmute you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for the welcome, Chris.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
You're welcome. We're excited.
Thank you, Lisa.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're just going over introductions because we had one new member, Simone, so we wanted her to introduce herself.
Okay, great. Nice meeting you, Simone. Welcome.
Thank you.
And it's Doctor, right? Because you graduated, right, Violetta?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I did a few months back.
Yeah.
I graduated right on time before the whole pandemic situation happened. Wow. So
I know.
Yeah.
And it seems every time I see you, I feel like, when's the party?
I know.
Feel it.
Right? It is so difficult. There's no celebration here.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to see the spreadsheet as I'm admitting people in. We have Christina, Tammy, and Tim joining. Perfect timing. They have not missed a thing except for Simone. They've missed you, Simone. And I'll just wait for them to come on before I continue talking. Hey, Christina. Tim's audio is kicking in and Dr. Tammy's kicking in too. All right, everyone. So just in summary, you didn't miss that much. We have a new member of the planning committee, or a new interested member of the planning committee. Her name is Simone, and she came today to see what this is all about and how she can fit within our little bubble here. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Not that it's a bubble. What do you call something that people are welcome to come into? Our little powwow that we do, that the whole world is welcome to join. Okay, so let me go ahead and add some people's names who I know have not filled out. How do you spell that? I'm not, is it like that? Or did I miss a name?
Here, it's MC, capital C.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're right. Just put a C, a capital C, and then ERTY.
TY, like that, right?
Yep.
And then we have, who else didn't fill one out? Sarita?
I did. I just didn't have my accounts where to let me submit.
Yes, ma'am. That's fine. I'm still adding your name here, but still fill out the application.
Okay.
And then
I'll go to the TED website.
Tammy did it, Tim did it, and Christina, did you fill this out? Okay, so what we're doing today is we're kind of, oh, Carletta. Did I do that right? I feel like my eyesight isn't good this morning. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with the first line item, which is speakers. All right. So I kind of changed it to where, like, if you put 100%, then, you know, I just changed to 100%. And let's sort it ZA. So I definitely want to be on the speaker committee. Maria, Chris, Armand, and I think we have a very strong support with Armand. Maybe this time doesn't work for him. Can anyone chime in on that?
I try to get a hold of him before every meeting, and I never get any response. Last time he was taking care of his grandma because she fell.
Okay.
I don't know if
yeah,
he had a lot of time helping grandma or not.
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah, I didn't hear. I hear him. I see him post and like. I haven't heard from him.
Yeah. Now both of y'all know him. Sarita, you're his mentor, right?
Yeah, I just haven't talked to him in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Because he's been busy. I think the last time, well, not too much. I say a couple of weeks. I texted him on Wednesday for something.
Okay.
But
okay. I just know that he's really been wanting to be supportive of this, but he hasn't come to meetings. So I'm just, you know, just want to make sure. I spoke to Marge, and she is very interested. She just hasn't been able to make our meetings, but during the week, it's back and forth. Does that make sense? Deanna was here at the last meeting, Tim. So for this category, I would say anybody who wants to be in it is in it, okay? And if you see the numbers here, they actually correlate to how interested are you in this, and whether you just want to be in it and you're good at it, or 50% means you can help and 0 means you're not interested. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
So Simone, so this committee is for selecting the speakers. Simone, how interested would you be in this committee?
In the committee, 100.
100, okay. Sarita?
same. And I just submitted. Apparently, I already have a profile. So sorry about that.
Yeah. And Christina?
Okay.
Perletta?
100.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, Sarita, what were you going to say?
I had a question. So I was very interested, like 100% for the speakers, but I did have a question. With selecting, do we have, I don't know how we're going to go about the process. I know discussion and all that stuff, but with the review process, would that be like on the same days, like Saturdays or during the week? I'm just thinking because of school.
No, the speaker committee will deal with how they want to meet. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay.
These meetings are for us. These meetings should be very quick with the chairs of the committees giving reports so everybody knows what's going on. We're all kind of going to be in some of the other committees, but it's important for us to know, like, these meetings should be just quick and everybody has done their work during the week. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So this is to just delegate, and then when we meet once a week, because now we're at, I think, 15 meetings before the event, so that's not that many. I have a little guy over here trying to, oh, he's looking at the birds. Okay. Okay, and I don't know if Christina, I can't hear you. Did you say something?
No, other than I'm available if you need me on that team also.
Okay, 175 or 50?
I can do, I'm trying to figure out, I can do 75.
Okay, perfect. So 75, sorry, so everybody who said 100 is eligible to be a chair. Does that make sense? It means you're going to put your effort into this. Make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't want to chair anything. So I don't think I should. Let me even just gray out my name. And I can pretty much guarantee you I'm going to be involved in everybody's, for better or worse. Maria, Christopher, Armand, Simone, Sarita, and Corletta. Who do you all think should be the chair of this speaker committee? I nominate
Corletta?
Christopher.
Christopher?
I nominate him. And so y'all are welcome to nominate anyone else.
I put in Chris and Corletta.
Chris and Corletta.
just because I don't know what my school year will bring right now.
Okay, so Chris and Corletta, both of you have been nominated for the speaker committee. Are there any objections to these nominations before we vote?
No.
No.
I would vote for Chris.
Corletta, I'm about to vote for you now. Somebody else is coming on. Andrea here. Let me put her name. You just removed your nomination. Let me add, oh, why am I putting 2 O's? Okay. Andrea. Hi, Andrea.
Hi.
Welcome. We're assigning work.
Okay.
Cool. You know what's funny? Your picture, I thought it was you. Like, I was like, you look so beautiful this morning. Do you have an event? I'm like, what's going on? Okay. And then your mouth didn't move. So then I was like, nah, it's not her. That's a good way to look like on Zoom, like you're really there, but you're not there. Okay. So Andrea, we are trying to figure out who wants to be on what committee. And so I just added your name, and everybody who had filled out the application previously, I kind of was already able to pull it in. Are you interested in being on the speakers committee?
That's just helping out for those who are speaking, correct?
Yes, selection and helping guide them to coaches, making sure that they're ready to speak.
Okay, I can do that. If that's what you need me to do, I can do that.
Okay, and this is really what you want to do. So do you want to do it at 100%, 75%, or 50%? Well, how much effort would you put into this?
Put me at 50 right now.
Okay.
So for at this time.
Yes, yes. And no apologies, guys. Even 0% is allowed. As you can see, I am very clear on you where I do not feel like I want to be involved. Okay, so we are good on that. So I think, did we all decide that Chris is the chair?
Good to go.
Yeah, okay. So Chris, you're officially, I guess, the chairman of that committee, okay?
Well, Chris, are you okay with that?
I'm very humbled by the nomination. I accept.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So now, the other thing I'm going to do after this is I'm going to share this spreadsheet with everyone, and so you can have everyone's contact information. I'm not going to pull it up right now because, hello, we're recording. So I don't want everyone's phone numbers and email addresses to be on screen. But once you see, there'll be a tab that'll have everyone's contact information. So Chris, you'll be able to build your team and work through that. Does that make sense? And by the way, it's also on here. I've just hidden them. I've hidden those columns, okay? Perfect, congratulations, woo, 1 down.
Mhm.
All right, so the next one is show production. Now let me explain what this is. There's a difference between selecting speakers and then making sure that the show is running well. So that means kind of visualizing what is this show gonna look like. We not only need speakers, but we also need performers in between. We may need a band. We may need to curate some music. You know what I mean? Like there just kind of needs to be somebody, and like an artistic person, people who like know theater and can kind of see what a run of show would be like. One of the things that I've seen that has worked really well is instead of starting the show with somebody coming on stage saying the normal, which is welcome everybody, we're so excited you're here for TEDx, right? Sometimes it started with like a performance, and it's been like some really, a performance that's like momentum building, you know what I mean? And so everybody's just kind of excited, and then afterwards they say, yo, thank you for coming to TED, right? So thinking about that, you know, think about being on that committee of a person who can see it, right? Those are my boys, if you heard them. I'm not even trying to figure out what's going on over there. But the point is, you have to be able to see this through the lens of not only the people watching, keeping in mind that we may have to do this virtually, but also knowing that we can't have people hearing like two talks that are similar together. Do you know what I mean? So the show production is more of a person who, I don't want to say likes drama and theater, but has an eye for that or a heart for that. Make sense?
Like somebody who's good at graphic design, stuff like that?
Not necessarily, because graphic design would be like marketing, I think. Yeah. So this is
It's like show.
This team.
It's like putting on a play.
It's like the directors of the play, right? So there's the casting group that casts the I guess you could say the actors, right, and actresses, which are the speaker committee, right? So you're going to decide who's getting to talk. And then the show production are going to identify performers. Also probably in there, identify who would be the best person to introduce that speech. Does that make sense? Because sometimes the people introducing the speech also kind of elevate the speech a little bit. Does that make sense? They set the tone of the speech that's coming. And so the show production team could do that.
I wish we had someone from the Harbor Playhouse.
So if anyone knows anybody from Harbor Playhouse, you know what I mean?
I wonder if we can.
So you know who we had previously helping with TED events in Corpus was Shell. I can't remember her last name now. I don't know why it's not coming to me. And she was really good because she had a wedding. She owned Port Aransas Beach Weddings or something like that. I don't know what the name of her business was, but her job was to curate for you your wedding of your dreams on the beach. So the experience. So you would tell her what you're looking for your wedding on the beach, and she would make it happen. So she had this thing of seeing what we're trying to do. Does that make sense? Anyway,
She's an event planner.
so just think of that. So I want to go through who selected this. So Armand said he wanted to. Now, I'm kind of leery to put people as chairs if they can't attend meetings and they're not responsive. Does that make sense?
Definitely, yeah.
And then Chris said he wanted to be on there. I'm definitely going to be on there. Tim, and then Marge says that she wants to be on there, and you guys can see the names right there. I don't need to go over it. Simone, Sarita, Corletta, Christina, Andrea. Now that you've heard what this committee will be doing, would you be interested?
I think I was at 50 on mine.
50, thank you, Sarita.
Yeah, I had put 50 on mine as well.
All right, go ahead. Next person.
50 for me.
All right.
Yeah, 50.
All right. And Andrea? Okay, so does anyone know anyone in production stuff? I know someone. You know what? I know somebody.
I also know one guy.
You know, somebody from.
Because we could literally have people, and this is all they do, right? They never have to come to these meetings. They just have to help with it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
People who have, I mean, I know what I'm looking for, but there's always something about the people who just, this is their world, you know? I'm always so impressed by that. And I know it's been very helpful to have a person who can see, okay, what's this talk about? Okay, what's the performance? Okay, we're missing this. Does that make sense? And they kind of see how to make every audience feel comfortable, right? So can't have highly analytical talks back to back and then creative ones after. It just doesn't work. Okay, so let's sort this and realize, so if you put 50%, then you're gonna be helping. If you put 0, then you're not gonna be on it. And so I want to say that Armand, I'm gonna, if you don't mind, I mean, I don't want to downgrade him, but I don't think that I should elect him as chair. I don't know if y'all agree.
I
agree.
Yeah. And seeing how things are going right now, it's between Chris and Tim.
Jump in, Tim.
Showtime.
Can't hear you, Tim.
Is show production and day manager going to be pretty closely related?
So day manager is, show production is how is everything flowing. Day manager is everything. Did the trash cans get put there? Is the registration table set up? So production is more on what's happening on the stage, right? Yeah. So, but the day manager is the person who has the playbook of how this whole event is going. And do you understand what I mean? If let's just say we're having the event and then we're having it outdoors and the city comes and says we don't have a permit, you know, for one reason or another, the day manager has the binder that has the permit or the drop box. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The day manager also just makes sure that things are taken care of. If there's some sort of an emergency, you know, I'm there. Don't keep in mind that I'm there as a huge support system, but it's important to have people who own specific things.
I'm happy to help you with that, Tim.
Well, yeah, that would, sure.
Sure. Okay. And I kind of already, because I've watched a lot of TED events, I guess you could say. So not that I know what I'm doing, but you know, everybody knows what they like. You go to the movies because, you know, and you come out of it with an opinion, right? For a reason. So we all know what we like. So this isn't something that you have to have a degree in or you have to have a science about it. It's really just thinking about if we were to make a production on the show, on the stage, how should it go, right? It should be starting off and then elevate people's adrenaline and then bring it back down and take it back up. And so that way the whole time people are like, at the end, they're like, that was awesome. I can't believe it's over, right?
Got it.
Okay, thank you. Congratulations, Tim.
Thank you.
Now, one thing I do want to point out is I did nominate Tim to be a speaker. I sent him a message and told him I nominate him. And so if he does get selected to be a speaker, then he would be ineligible to chair this and we would just go with our backup, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, Tim.
Got it.
Okay, day manager. I
need to talk to you about that later.
Okay, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
So, and yes, if I nominated you, then you don't have to. It was just a thought.
Well, no, I mean, I want to follow up with you on that.
Okay. Budget. Oh, sorry, day manager. So day manager is, I kind of explained it already, right?
Yes.
Who wants?
Yes.
Okay. Simone.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Simone, Sarita, Carletta, Christina, Andrea. What percentage?
You can put me as backup. You can put me 75.
All right.
0.
Who said 0?
Carletta did.
Carletta. I know. Did I put 0 for myself? I can't. Anyway.
I think I put 0. I'm trying to look back on my submission because this went through. And the only reason, Lisa, I'm trying to say is like, I know I want to pick certain ones that I can do. So I think probably the next one, when you get to the like Facebook, I can help with that. Just because I don't know what's happening with school. And
I will tell you this right now. Don't ever apologize for not wanting to do something because if you do too many things and you can't do everything great, you know? So it's okay if you want it to be 0. It's totally fine. In fact, I appreciate that because then we know it's better to have 2 people than to have a bunch of people who are like, yeah, maybe, you know? So, and then those people know that they're rocking it. Andrea and Sarita, what is and Simone?
0.
The 0 on that one.
Andrea?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm on my phone. I couldn't get on my computer, so I'm kind of distorted here. I couldn't do the fill out because I was on my phone and I couldn't see it properly.
Okay, that's okay. You don't have to fill anything out. So just let me know what percentage of effort would you like to put into the day manager position? Between 100 and 0.
Okay, so did they give a definition of what the day planner did? Or
sure. So the day manager on the day of the event has the playbook. So pretty much making sure if there was permits we needed to get, you have that information. There's going to be people assigned to do everything. It's just making sure that all the things are being taken care of. You're the manager of the event.
Okay, so and so then the making sure the speakers are ready also?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the speaker committee.
So that's before the event. This is the day of the event, right?
Yes.
Okay. You put me up 50.
Okay, and just so that it's clear, if you're on the speaker committee, we're gonna have a VIP area for our speakers, and if you're on the speaker committee, you're going to make sure that the speakers are not hyperventilating backstage. Okay, so you're gonna be with them till the end because sometimes it happens. I will tell you this: we have people who, when it's just 2 or 3 people in the room, they are rocking it, and then the day comes and it's like everything they gotta go to the restroom 100 times, and you're there to just hold.
Hey, stop talking about me.
And it happens
bring some oils.
Everyone. It happens to everyone. They want to run away, some of them. So just be there, okay, just in case. So as speakers, you just need to know that you're there to take care of the speaker from beginning to end. And the show is for them. This whole entire thing is for our speakers.
So if I want to be a speaker and I'm on the speaker committee, am I just going to calm myself down then? I'll be okay.
No, you'll be assigned a speaker coach. But the other thing I will tell you is if you're on the speaker committee, which some of us will be, and you get selected as a speaker, you can't vote for yourself. Can't vote. So you'll be on there, but you won't have an opinion about the decision that whether you're going to speak or not. Make sense?
Yeah.
And we've had experience with that. We've had experience with people who were in the planning and then we had to remove them from heavy lifting because they were going to be a speaker. But they were also really good behind the scenes. So it's kind of like, you know, we appreciate everyone. All right, so it looks like we are good on that. So we have Armand, Tim, Maria, and I apologize. Who is Maria again? I can't remember who that is. Does anybody know Maria?
No.
Okay. So I'm not sure who she is. She probably, maybe, I'm not sure if she's even come to one meeting because I haven't.
I was going to say, I don't remember her at a meeting.
That name before. Yeah. Okay. So now we know. If you don't mind, I'm going to hide the people that I'm not being able to make decisions on, if you don't mind. So Tim.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't work out if I.
Yeah. If you do get selected as a speaker, obviously, duh. Okay, so I meant no to me, not anybody else. So I think what we can do here is, Christina.
Yes.
Are you comfortable being the chair of this? I know you put 75%.
Yes. I mean, I can do it.
Okay.
It's not, I'm not worried about it.
Okay, so you're gonna boss us around, all right? On the day. On the day, you're gonna be wearing, you know, whatever fanny pack, and you're gonna have binders, and you'll be like, everybody. Who is that?
I usually carry a binder with me.
Okay, well there we go.
I'm pretty organized, so.
And if all goes well, your job will be super easy. You'll literally hopefully be sitting back watching the show go. You know what I mean? And you're just there just in case the registration table people didn't show up, just in case this, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Perfect. So thank you so much. And let's give a round of applause to Christina. Welcome. All right, so hide that. So budget. So the budget thing is very critical to me because I know from past experience that it's important to keep track of our sponsorship money, and not necessarily money that's cash money, but in kind contributions. So we really do need somebody who likes budget. And we already have a person who hasn't filled out an application, but I know she already said 100% she wants to do this. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna put her name, especially because nobody wants to do that. I think this is it's kind of telling, isn't it? And I'm gonna tell her she's the chair of a soul by herself. But the goal of this is to just have a, you know, whatever they call it, right? Where they track the money. Is it a financial statement?
Yeah, we don't even know. It's like nobody in this group knows that, then that's probably not a good.
Well, do they use Excel? I'm not sure what they use. Anyway, whatever she does, she's gonna make sure that, you know, we're not, no one's making any money from this. We just have to cover our costs, okay? So there's costs associated with the trash cans. There's costs associated with police, right? If we're doing it on site, all these things. Now, the goal here is that sponsors would just pay for those things and we don't have to exchange any money, okay? Hide. All right, the next one is sponsorship. Sponsorship is pretty self-explanatory. You are going to find the sponsors. Make sense?
Yes.
All right, so let's go down the line with Christina, Andrea, Simone, Zoraida, and Corletta.
I say 0 with, I guess I say it hesitantly because I still want to maybe offer that if we do find sponsors to kind of push him over to the sponsorship committee. So like the whole team, I think, should kind of pitch in as far as if everybody knows somebody, you know, they can kind of put them in that committee or in touch with that committee. But so I want to help in that way. So, but not on the committee.
Yes. And I want to thank you so much for saying that. So exactly what Christina said is what everybody's expectations are going to be for the entire event, even for marketing. So when we are sharing posts, you cross post. Advertising is everyone's job too. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So thank you so much, Christina. So, but this committee will be doing the heavy lifting on sponsorship.
Okay, Andrea, 0.
All right. And being on this committee doesn't mean you know who the sponsors are. You don't even need to have the contact. I have a database that I'm just going to send to you if you're doing this. Carletta and Sarah.
Carletta, 0.
All right. Oh, somebody's saying 100. Who was that? Whose fur baby was that? I didn't catch the audio trigger.
Not mine.
Okay.
I think it was Sarita. Sarita
mine.
in the last meeting too.
Sarita, puppy?
He's out there. We locked him out, or else he like comes in here and like does stuff.
Is he the one who's trying to get on our committee?
No, not today. He's locked out of the office.
Okay.
He'll come in and do stuff. Not today.
Okay, so I haven't heard from Simone and I haven't heard from Sarita.
I'm thinking.
For sponsorship, I can help, but I just like I can make like a call or something, but not anything big.
Okay, so do you want to be 100, 75, 50, or 0?
I think I'm at 50 for this one.
Right. Thank you, Sarita.
Like if I have like whoever's the chair and it's like here's your 5 names and I can call them, I can do that.
Thank you. Yes, that's what we're looking for.
How about I go to 75 on this one and then on the speakers go down to 50? Would that work?
Yes. Everybody, whatever you want to do. Oops, I will delete this.
Thank you, Simone.
I can't believe I did that. Okay.
Because I mean, that's kind of with my engineering, I'm in sales. So in this area, I'm already talking to all the companies.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
Sorry. So Simone, you wanted to be 75 or what? 50?
75.
Okay. And I don't even know why I didn't even just freeze, right? You can freeze the column. Freeze up to M. Yep, okay. Up to, I know what I was trying to do, it didn't do it, but I think we got it. Okay, so now we're on, let me hide this. Okay, perfect. So let me go back, perfect. So sponsorship. Got you, Simone, 75. So we have a sort mechanism here now, and then we see who bubbled up. So Christopher, Simone, and I guess Tim is 50. So let's just say it's between Christopher and Simone. So I nominate Simone.
I second it. I second your nomination.
All those in favor? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. This is not that type. So Simone and Christopher, what do you guys think? Girling.
I can be a big help to Simone if she wants to chair that.
Sure.
And we're all doing this.
Yeah.
We're all doing it. We can't get this done without our sponsors. And we already have sponsors, by the way, and they're in this room right now. So thank you, Carletta.
And I'll help Simone. I mean, it's just a matter of like give you the who I need to talk to or whatever.
We already have people who donated already, so we're kind of already moving. So we're good. So we have made that decision. So let's give a little bit of some gratitude to Simone. Round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you, Simone.
Thank you for stepping up. Okay, next we have the marketing. Marketing is fun. Simone, Sarita, just give me the numbers. Simone's marketing
0.
Explanatory. Okay. Marketing is like flyers, if we need to make flyers, the shirts, if we need to order shirts, advertising in our community, maybe building relationships with our radio stations and our TV stations so that they can have us on there to do PSAs, things like that.
0.
0.
Was that Simone?
Both of us.
And
0. Carletta.
0.
Yeah, 0.
Andrea?
Auntie. 0.
Okay. So now we are at, and I think Armand was 100. So now we're at Chris, Deanna, Tammy. So Deanna's not here, but she's pretty active, I guess. So I guess Chris, Deanna's not here to speak for herself. And Tammy, Dr. Tammy, which one of you would like to chair the marketing committee?
I'm really
Tammy.
interested in that, but I don't want to overcommit.
How about Tammy? I'm on nominating people.
Catalyst, Miss Catalyst over here. Be the catalyst. No, I'm kidding.
Yes, I nominate Tammy too.
What do I have to do again?
You have to do the press releases. You have to do any communication with the press and the media to make sure they know this is going on. And everything else is kind of going on already. We already have some I already have some sponsored ads going on Facebook. So so it's just making sure people know the event's going on. It's already happening. You're just sharing it now to make sure that we are, if we come up with
Covering all aspects.
I'm going to be on this committee, and when we come up with a campaign of what we're doing, then we're executing. And this chair will just make sure we're checking those boxes. Now I'll tell you this is a good one for anyone who has aspirations to grow their business, because you're going to need to do this anyway if you have your own
You're
business.
really trying to sell this, Lisa.
She's good.
Tammy.
She's good.
But I'll do it. Even before you said that, I'll do it.
Love it. See, I was overselling, so that's not good. Okay. So awesome. I mean, I put 100. Chair. All right. So with that, very swiftly, let's give a round of applause to our new chair of marketing.
Ooh.
And she is good at this, y'all. So we may even have a podcast out of this. It's really awesome.
Of course. I'll have you as guest.
Wait, can you add me 50? Because before you even said anything, I was rethinking that.
Okay.
It'd be a learning opportunity.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Just being in the room when a marketing team is working just gives you insight on how to do things, and then also opportunities for you to also connect with the people who help with marketing. So that's really good. Thank you.
Get Barbie on here.
That's a scary area. That's why I was
I've
like.
already reeled in a few people who are going to be helping us with marketing, but they're just not on this committee. Does that make sense? There's a lot of community members who are going to support us, but just not. They're not going to be listed on the website because they're as needed. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So the next is event logistics. Now, I know that there was a confusion, I guess, in talking about who the day manager was, and then also the event logistics. So event logistics to me is pretty much, you know what, remember when, what was her name? Lisa Oliver, she came on and she talked to us about how there was all that stuff that we're like, what? Oh, this person would need to figure those things out, okay? If we're getting the rug, I think, Tim, is it you who sent me a rug from Amazon or something? Like, are we getting a red circle? Like, what are we getting to kind of set on the stage? What's the stage gonna look like? Like, figuring out what are the dimensions of the amphitheater, if that's what we're using. All those things, those are the event logistics. Does that make sense?
The layout.
Logistics is hot.
What?
I said one of the logistics is hot.
What does that mean?
I'm just saying, you know, just weather, logistics.
Oh, yes, the weather, right? So if it
I was being
gets
funny.
rained out, yes, because it'll be in October. So if it gets rained out, where do we go? So things like that, you know?
Yeah.
I've kind of been thinking about that too.
Yeah,
like,
I was trying to be funny. But
Del Mar, right? I was thinking as a backup, we should get with Del Mar about their route.
Intense.
The City of Corpus Christi Parks and Recreation have so many guidelines for this already. So most of that job is just going to be staying in contact with them and following all the rules.
Yes.
Who was that, Liza? I know she was like, you know, you need to make sure this, and then the cops, and then the police, and then I was like, I don't know what to talk about.
I know it was Lisa. Her name was Lisa Oliver.
Oh, you said Lisa Oliver. Okay.
Oliver. And so she's not even the person. There's another person. I think she supervises that person. So, but anyway, they were supposed to come to our meeting last week and they didn't come. So we'll see if they can come for the next meeting. And whenever they come, then it's their meeting because we need to know what to do here. And oh, there was somebody who we were going to contact. Remember the guy from GIS? John? Anyway.
John who?
I can't remember his last name now, but he does GIS for Delmar.
Wood?
He does the bay, what is it called? Bay jamming. He's the one who does the bay jamming events.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
And if he watches this and sees it, I don't know his last name. It's COVID. I'm just gonna blame it on COVID. Okay, so everything's COVID's fault. Why didn't you get up? COVID. Okay, so event logistics. Event logistics is, okay, I need somebody really like analytical, somebody who everyone in the room's like, all right already, you know, it'll be fine. And this person's like, no, do we have first aid kit, you know?
Like my bottom string.
No, it's mine too. I'm like, we don't need seat belts. Let's just fly. Anyway, okay. So, Tammy, I know we already tagged you in for marketing. Who would be interested in event logistics between, I guess you could say Chris and Tim? Anyone over here interested? Oh, I didn't ask you guys. Andrea.
0.
Yeah, I'm at 0 for this one.
0.
I think the last one I have is Facebook that I'm gonna do.
Simone?
0.
Christina?
I think by default, I'm going to be a part of that, but because I'm doing the day of event managing,
right.
I don't mind helping because I've done a lot of 5Ks and stuff like that. So I can kind of help guide whoever takes that on.
Okay, 50 or 75?
Excuse me. 50.
All right. Perfect. Thank you. So we still have Dr. Tammy at the top.
What? How did that happen?
I don't know. That's what you put. You put it there. Okay. So we can table this because I know that there's people who are not here right now. So if you guys just wanted to table it, we can. Do you want to do that? Or do you want to select from who we have right now already?
Let's see. So Deanna's not here. Marge. I don't know who Marge was.
She's the professor for A&M.
Oh, okay. Maybe table, because I know Tammy's already got one. Chris has already got one. Tim, you have some stuff?
Tim,
unless you guys.
1, 2, I think, right?
Yeah, and then Christina's already helping.
Well, okay, so let's just hold it off. Let's wait because this person needs to love spreadsheets and love. I almost feel like this person is very, very detail oriented. And if any of you are not wanting to do that, then I want whoever does this to want to do it. Does that make sense? They don't even have to know anything about TED. They just have to check boxes for us.
Box checker, check.
The city liaison. So this is the person who would be communicating with the city. So instead of, like, for example, right now, we don't have a commitment from the city on them coming to our meetings. We need, either we go to them, right? So they tell us when we can meet and during the week we get on a call. However, we need to coordinate with the city. So right now we have a few people and then we have Christina and everybody down the line. Could you please tell me what number you want to be on this?
0, Andrea.
0 for me. Is Megan not helping? Is Sussy?
I saw her name on the registration for the events, but she's never come for any of the events.
Okay.
0 for me.
I'm sorry, Correletta 0?
Yes.
Sorry, Simone, you didn't say anything, did you?
Yeah, 0.
Okay. Now, I will tell you about Megan. So sometimes it's hard for me because Megan and I work together. So I have to just be sensitive to that she probably has other things she's doing. Just because she would be perfect at this doesn't mean that she has the time for it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I think somebody wants to come in. Marge is here. We just talked about her. Tell her we gave her all this work. Here now, probably. Hi, Marge.
I unmuted. I'm on my phone, so I'm not, I don't usually use my phone. Sorry, I'm late. I always have a little problem on Saturday mornings getting my act together.
That's okay. That's human. That's good. You're being a human. Hey, I was going to tell you that we assigned you many things, so check your email. No.
That's like going to the restroom during a meeting. You come back and find yourself assigned, yes.
I know. It's like you don't want to miss meetings where there's assignments happening. So thank you for coming. We are talking through who our city liaison is going to be. And you had put that you were interested in helping with this at 50%, and Christopher was 100. So Christopher, should we just assume that you're going to be the chair of this?
I'm happy to do it.
Perfect. You know, you can do everything, right? Thank you.
I'm good at schmoozing. I'm a schmoozer.
Awesome. And we need that. So I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So let's
we need to have a smoozer class.
Smoozer class. It's
Yeah,
called,
I have to learn how to smooth.
what is it? John Maxwell, how to influence people. What is that book called? Go read that book. Okay, so city liaison, Christopher Butler. Congratulations. What was that? Okay, hide. Next is media and video. So this one, I need somebody who can coordinate with either Del Mar or another video and production company to record the entire event. So Christina, Andrea, Simone, Zoraida, Carletta.
So do you already have somebody to do that, or we have to find someone to do
You
that?
are in the committee, nothing has been done. So you're going to do it. You're going to figure out who's doing it and all of that.
0.
0 for me.
Can you say your name? Because it's hard for me to
Christina.
hear. Christina, 0.
Zoraida, 0.
Okay.
Carletta, 0.
And Simone, 0 also.
And
you can put me at 50.
Sure.
I don't know what I'm doing, but or know anybody.
Nobody needs to know anyone. It's just you own it. So then you're bugging the people who know. Does that make sense?
But I don't know anybody to bug to know. Besides you.
Yeah, you know me. And I know who's
You can bug me, Andrea.
And you know, I know people who've done it for us before. So it would just be a matter of touching base with them, and then you being the contact between them and us. So whether it's Del Mar or there's a bunch of other production companies in town, this is like, if there's a production company and they want to get their name out there, this is like easy marketing for them. Because they can just say they produced a TED event. Put that on their website. Come on, somebody. Anyway, so Chris, it looks like you're the chair.
Again?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, I don't want to overcommit too much. I can help somebody a lot.
Let's wait on that. And ultimately, I have a feeling that if we're able to secure, okay, Chris, I'll make you a deal. I'll put myself as chair because this part of it is
importante.
According to TED, if you do not do this part, you don't get to do this again. They want recordings of everything. Like you can have the event and everybody have a great time, but if you didn't record it, that does not fly. Because they need to be able to curate content for their website. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you're helping them by recording your event. And if you don't record it, then you didn't meet the guidelines. So if you don't mind, I'll do the chairing with your support.
Deal.
Okay. And then I already know this is going to be easy breezy. I already know who's doing this. So we'll knock this one out in hopefully a couple of weeks. Because if we can get whoever's recording it to commit, then they're in charge of all of that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then everybody else who's on the committee will be helpful. Will be helping as well. I'm gonna hide this. So let's give another round of applause to Chris and I guess myself for helping with that. So the next one is updating our Facebook page. And you know how on the group, every now and then there's posts and it kind of keeps people still excited about the event? Being that person who does polls of what did you eat this morning? Not stuff like that, but like, you know, relevant stuff that has to do with TED. And just keeping people engaged, like a community engagement person. So you're the person who, how are y'all doing? And just sharing and letting people know that the event's coming. If we do start talking about speakers, maybe a post about, we're so excited to be reviewing speakers this week. We'll have an announcement by the end of the week. You know, that person thinks like that.
You put me at 75 for that one, since it's through computer.
Carletta, Simone, I like saying your name, Simone. Andrea, Christina, Simone, and Carletta.
Andrea, 0.
You can do 50 for me.
Christina.
Simone, 50.
0.
All right.
I have a question, Liza.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's just for the actual, where it says planning meetings, and then the other page that I saw was just like an event page. I was confused. We have one group page. Is that the group page that you're talking about for this, right?
Yeah, it's the
one that you've been posting on and stuff.
It's the TEDxColePark group. Because the event page, once the event's over, that goes away.
Okay.
So yeah, as much as we want to post there, like we want to keep it in the group. The group is what will continue. So if we did another TEDxColePark, then that group would re-energize again. And then if let's say we apply for TEDx North Beach, I don't know, you know, we decide we want to go do one at North Beach, at the Lexington, at the aquarium, whatever. Then we would create a new group. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then there'd be management of that. It kind of keeps people, you know, if you're interested in Cole Park stuff, if you're interested in this, then you go to that.
You better knock me off of 75 because I like doing that, but I'm not very good at Facebook.
Okay. So what do you want to be at?
I better put 25.
It wasn't
25, Christopher.
Is it 50 or 0?
Oh, I'm sorry. 0.
Okay. And then, so Sarida, do you want to be? Then you're going to be okay?
I'll be okay with that one.
I'll make you admin.
Okay. It's just a little bit more flexible for me right now.
I'll make you admin, and I will tell you what you do. You just schedule everything. It takes like an hour to schedule posts for the month, so we'll talk about it.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just need somebody. I just need somebody to do it. You know, sometimes things are simple, but they're not easy because you need the time, and finding the time is not there. So it's good if I may know how to do something, I just don't have time. You know. So, Sarita, we'll talk about that one, okay? Okay, and then we have people who wanted to be backup volunteers. That means if somebody drops the ball, that we can reach out to you. And that's pretty much everyone here, I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So can I put 50% for the rest of you guys, or does anybody have any other number they want?
That's fine.
Yeah. That's fine.
Pick up.
Okay, I'm committing everybody else to 50. Okay, we are done, everyone. I'm going to stop sharing for just a moment.
Not much on the chat, Lisa. The only thing was Chris put his number down. So if you need Chris's number, he's at 361-463-8642, and that's in the chat. And then he also asked Simone if she knew anybody that would go into production, and she mentioned her church production leader, Jake Ward, plays for Jake Ward and works in production, and she's going to reach out for him. Is that correct, Simone?
Yes, I already did.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, awesome.
Yes, like, you know,
All right.
when you just said church production, I said, those people. Those people who know how to bring it together. That's what we're looking for. Yeah.
That's
Oh,
it. That's it for the chat.
I love it. I love it. Okay. So I'm not going to share my screen again. I just kind of sorted it. So we kind of all already know what we're doing. I'm going to send an email to everyone regarding the spreadsheet. So if you're on this meeting today, then you're going to get the spreadsheet. If you were not in this meeting today, then the spreadsheet won't make sense to you, right? So I'll touch base with everyone else. And if you're watching right now and you missed the meeting, but you want the spreadsheet, then you know to email me for the spreadsheet. And I'll send it to you. And the only reason I do it this way is because, you know, as soon as you start to share too much information out, then you don't even get anything done because then everybody has an opinion, right? So I think we will adjourn the meeting. If anybody, does anybody else have anything? No, nothing.
And Lisa, if you have trouble with the event logistics, let me know. I'll be willing to definitely co-chair if somebody wants to do it, because I know it goes along with the marketing and making sure everything's in line, in order.
A lot of these are going to require you talking to other people.
Right.
So there's not a situation where the city liaison just meets with the city and then doesn't communicate with event logistics and with whatever other things we need, right? Sponsorship. So I already know we're going to need to pay for things. So Chris, when you find out what we're needing to pay for, then you're going to need to tell sponsorship so sponsorship can start making the sponsorship packets. So like if Flint Hills, Valero, GCGB, like if they want to sponsor, they're going to sponsor like the police is going to be there. They're going to sponsor whatever. If we have to go fully virtual with this, then we would have a sponsor for the virtual summit. Does that make sense? Because that usually you have to pay for platforms for that.
And then for the sponsorship, do we already have sponsorship packages or anything like that?
That's the job of the sponsorship committee, to identify what we need, right? So that's why I'm saying everyone will need to talk to each other.
Should we share contact with each other?
Can you say that again?
Should we share contact info so we could get a hold of each other and start talking?
Yes, I'm going to send the spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet has everything. The spreadsheet even has everyone's application. So there's a tab where when you applied, you know, gotta love the beauty of Google, it just feeds into it. So there'll be a tab that has your phone number, your email address. And then if you are so inclined, go and find your co-planners TED profiles and connect with them, right? So we can connect with each other that way. Not that it means anything, it's just kind of cool when you have followers. And then, go ahead.
Go ahead, finish your thought.
No, I was just gonna add that, use that spreadsheet. Now, I'm going to share it as a Google spreadsheet. So when I send it to you, you're welcome, you know, to go in there and use it to do your job too.
I was just gonna ask, I know on the, when we filled out the volunteer form, it mentioned something about a group, like a group message, a group chat or something.
Yes, yes.
So I didn't know if you were still gonna do that in Facebook or on like GroupMe or no, we don't need that.
Oh, no, we need it because like on the day of the event, all of us are gonna need to be like, if something happens, we all need to know. Does that make sense? We can't be like, I told Tim, I told Chris, you didn't tell Sarita? You can't do that. So it has to be kind of like a group chat. So I don't know if you all want to use like real chatting. So like just the chat function on your phone. However we want to do that, I'm comfortable with. I've done it many different ways. And I understand that sometimes if you do use Facebook Messenger, then you kind of lose the functionalities of being able to share things quickly. I don't know. Sometimes with the Facebook Messenger, I feel a little challenged sometimes with it. But either way, I'm comfortable.
Yeah, because I know there's apps like GroupMe where you don't get all the notifications. You can really tailor the notifications a little better than just the group text that just comes in ad nauseum.
Tammy, it sounds like you want to share that.
It's GroupMe. We just need to start it, right?
Yeah, we just need to start it, and I don't mind doing it.
We just need to start it, Dr. Tammy.
I don't mind doing it.
Thank you.
And then once I do, I'll add you. I don't know if I have your cell, but I'll get it.
You're going to get my spreadsheet, and it'll have everyone's phone number.
Oh, okay. Because I was saying, I just add one, and then people can add whomever. Once it's set up, then you can add. You know.
Okay, so what I'm going to
if
do
I'm missing.
now, I'm going to stop recording so that I can ask for Simone and the people whose phone numbers I don't have immediately. I can just get them right now, okay? Bye, if you're watching.